and welcome back to Car Juice. Today I'm going to be giving you guys the squeeze on the 2026 BMW 540. And let me tell you, that actually wasn't as bad as I was expecting. I bet you could probably fit about like 6 bodies in there, which is pretty good for full-size sedan. So the 2026 BMW 540 is a very nice high-performance sports car that you could also very easily daily drive. This is the latest generation of the G60 platform. I presume that next year will be a full redesign, and for the most part, this one is basically the same as the 24 and the 25 model that I have grown to love over my years with the company. This one does have my favorite wheels with a square setup of 245 in the front and 245s in the rear. They are Pirelli P0 all-season tires, and in my opinion, they kind of look like samurai swords. Some other cool appearance things on the outside of this 540 is the illuminated kidney grille. The 5 Series was the first one to get that upgraded kidney grille whenever it came out. It looks really good whenever you lock and unlock the car. It'll kind of flash and pulse and just look really cool. It's a lot more futuristic than typically would expect the 5 Series to be. It just looks cool. You guys unfortunately can't really see it today. This one also has the M Sport package and the frozen deep gray paint, but this frozen paint is very nice. It's a matte finish, which is very interesting. It's got a lot more clear coat on it and is set up to be a like shiny look, which is pretty cool. It's an expensive paint job at $3,500, but it is a very cool one at that. Inside of this kidney grille here, you do have a radar sensor and a camera right above that. The camera is capable of shooting at 4K, and it's very nice with the drive recorder package. So there is an integrated 360-degree camera in all of the new BMWs that get this package. Sometimes it's in premium, sometimes it's standalone, but definitely a nice one to have. You also, with that radar sensor, have standard adaptive cruise control or have self-driving whenever you upgrade to the Drive Assist Professional package. The mirrors and the door handles are basically cupped right into the side of the car, and you do have keyless entry on the outside with that little ridge there. So you can just walk up to it and it'll let you right in. The MSRP on this one is pretty juicy at $88,375. $67,100 is the base price, $3,600 for the paint. Upgraded leather seats, Drive Assist Professional, luxury seating, which is not the multi-contour seats, and the massaging seats are just kind of okay, in my opinion. It does have the 20-inch wheels as part of that M Sport upgrade. We also have the M Sport Package Pro, which adds the blacked out lights and bigger brakes. Premium package, which has the things below here, and the 4-zone climate, Sky Lounge panoramic roof, so the full roof is glass instead of a regular sunroof. Just below that, a power rear sunshade, which can also be put as part of the executive package. Upgraded Bowers & Wilkins sound system, which increased $100 for this year. A Alcantara headliner and a destination fee. That's how you get this thing up to that MSRP. We'll check out the back seat here in a second, but I've got a couple of more things to say about the back of the car with that 5 embedded into the Hofmeister kink, looking pretty sporty. And then the back of this car looking low-key like a Toyota Avalon, but a good-looking Toyota Avalon with cool matte paint. Because of that M Sport package, you do have a rear spoiler on the back, which looks quite nice, and you'd have kind of a baby rear diffuser integrated into this as well. The trunk does use a kick-to-open tailgate, so you can open it with the push of one button, and you can also close it the same way. The trunk is pretty decent with a small storage portion over on one side, a run-flat tire re-inflator kit if you do not get the Space Saver spare, and this can get a Space Saver spare and you lose about 2 inches or so. Basically it comes up flush with this here if you do have the Space Saver spare option. The rear seats do fold down, and overall the trunk is pretty decently sized with good accoutrements such as grocery hooks on either side. Closes nice and smooth. You have a backup camera as well as to be expected with a modern car. Same with the wing mirror cameras because of that parking package. Here is the application of those rear shades, so kind of nice. No automatic ones on the side, but the one in the back is fully automatic. Sitting in the back seat, you have a good amount of headroom. The overall fit and finish of the 5 Series, in my opinion, is the best in the entire fleet other than the 7. The headroom in the rear has about 3 or so inches, which is pretty decent. Nice soft touch here on the door cards in the back. And then you also have ample legroom with about 7 or so inches sitting behind a 5'8" driver. Sitting behind someone a bit taller at 6 foot, you're going to be closer to a 2 to 3 inches of legroom here in the back. And then you also have a rear integrated climate console as part of that 4-zone climate package. You have 2 USB Type-Cs here, and then also one in the center with a nice ambient light that stays to the same color as the rest of the car. The travel and comfort system can add different items here in the back, and then the speakers do light up with the Bowers & Wilkins logo, and you have more ambient lighting throughout the rest of the inside of the car. Overall, very nice. The door handles, unfortunately, are plasticky. They are not real metal, which it's not that big a deal. And I like the two-tone of the leather on the doors whenever you get the upgraded leather seats. You also have this tuxedo type trim on the back as well, which is pretty cool. In the driver's seat, you have a very spacious cabin built for tall folk. I would say the maximum height is probably around 6'6". I really have never seen anybody not be able to fit in the 5 Series. Unless they're a little bit bigger boned, that's really the only time that people complain about this one. But even, you know, it's pretty accommodating though. The door cards are nice, basically the same as the back. This is fake leather, this is real leather, so not too bad. More ambient lighting throughout, with kind of a gem pattern, as is BMW's new styling language. Door handles are nice and don't creak too much as you push on them. The metal trim on the inside is kind of cool with a textured finish. You can also get carbon fiber, which is my personal favorite. And they also have a blue toned wood, which is pretty cool. As you move your seats back, because of that luxury seating package, the folds here expand and they contract as you move it forward, trying to keep that seat built for the size person that is driving the car. Speaking of driving the car, you have a nice steering wheel. This is the new generation with BMW, with the flat bottom, good steering wheel feel, tiny paddle shifters, very pathetic. Not a big fan, but is daily driver, is not go fast car. That's fine. Cruise control here on the left side, automatic high beams available, and automatic windshield wipers, because this is a true luxury car. You also have a very cool full color heads-up display and a rear view mirror with auto dimming and 3 garage door buttons. Right above that, you have your interior camera, which is monitoring, making sure that people aren't stealing your car and messing up your things. Down below, you have a dual storage with a wireless charger on the left, and then 2 USB Type-Cs here in the center. The overall operating system is the xDrive 8.5 system, and you have a 12.3-inch touchscreen with a 14-inch iDrive screen here in front of you, making it easy to use CarPlay on this one, or if you want to monitor your speed or various other things in the main viewing area on the tachometer. You have 3 different selections to choose from on the tachometer, which is quite nice, and you can also make phone calls right from a push of a button. Fit and finish in the driver's seat is pretty good, and you do have an adjustable headrest. It's no longer power, which is a big bummer compared to the previous generation, and you can have ventilated seats and 2 memory seating settings, and if your partner or whoever else is sharing the car with you decides to save memory seats, they can do so, and you can have 2 for each person by changing your driver profile. Most things you do have to have a profile for. It's not as bad as what's in the X3 and the X1 with the iDrive 9, but overall it is one of those that's a little bit weird. But I'm gonna go ahead and put you guys on the window here, and then another version of you guys here on the windshield. We're gonna take this thing on a bit of a spin. All right, we're in the driver's seat of the 2026 BMW 540, and I don't really think much has changed for the 26 model year. It still has the same 370 horsepower B58 engine, and overall it's still probably the smoothest, and it's probably still the #1 smooth mixed with sporty type ride that we have in the entire BMW fleet, or model lineup, whatever you want to call it. But the only updates that are basically remarkable are mostly ones that are just going to be inside of that iDrive 8.5 operating system. They've had a couple of key updates basically that just made the car a little bit easier to use. One that I would like to note that doesn't pertain just to this car, but everything with 8.5, is that you can now actually mark whenever you are at home to not let the car use the comfort access system. So the car is basically not going to just be locking and unlocking constantly whenever you're just out driving, or whenever you're out walking around in the garage. You can now basically choose if you want the car to respond or beep whenever you're walking around. And pretty much everyone, I think, would benefit from turning that feature off. The 540 is still a very quick, very fun car. 0 to 60 times somewhere in the mid 4s, about a 4.4 to 4.6, depending on how you are driving the car, what kind of surface, boost temperature, all that good stuff. The B58 TU3 is still an excellent engine, and overall this car just rides really smooth. It's much smoother than the previous G30 generation, which was already a very smooth car, but the G60, just being a little bit bigger, it's just got more juice to squeeze. So it's a little bit more of a rolly around type vehicle, but still very fun, has a nice pep to it, and gets decent fuel economy for being as big as it is. On the highway, you're probably going to get around 32 miles per gallon, depending on how you drive, and then around 26 or so whenever you are driving in the city. So pretty good fuel economy. The B58 is very reliable, very tunable. So if you get bored with this amount of power, you can always find a tuning company that can help you out with that. BMW does work with Carbon, specifically at my dealership. That's something that we push a lot, where you can actually purchase an extended warranty and still have a tune through Carbon, which is pretty sweet. Very tunable engine, very fun, and just nice, comfy seats, good interior quality as well. You can push on everything, no cracks and creaks. The optional suede headliner is quite nice, and a big purchase, a big bonus for me. I probably wouldn't get it in my own car, but it is really nice and just a little bit more premium. I wish that all of them had the opening sunroof. I would opt to not get the Sky Lounge if I was purchasing one of these, just because, you know, being able to open your sunroof is kind of the point of a sunroof in my opinion. But the overall iDrive system, however the car works, is easy to operate and just overall pretty darn good. I like the flat bottom steering wheel. I mention it in every one of my videos that has this steering wheel on it. It's just a nice, cool wheel. This one does not get the red insignia how the X3 M50 does. I still hope that maybe we come out with an M560 at some point. Not super promising on it, but potentially maybe with the redesign if they can get the fuel economy down enough, or deem that that's something that they want to do. I like the gauges in sport mode. This one has the interior that I would not interior rhombusol mesh trim or what have you. Whenever you're driving around in bright sunlight, there is a little bit of a glare that prevents you from being able to see out of that mirror quite as well. Speaking of the mirrors, it does have good blind spot monitoring and self-driving features. If you choose to do the Drive Assist Professional package, you will be able to let this thing drive you on its own at up to 85 miles per hour, which is pretty nice. Materials are good. It's got the Bowers & Wilkins sound system instead of the Harman Kardon. In my opinion, it's slightly nicer than the Harman Kardon, but probably just a placebo more than anything, as a lot of those parts are shared between those same companies. So I don't know. It's just one of those things. 540 is always going to be the perfect car, in my opinion, if you're somebody that drives for work and you are taller. I'm not that tall, so I am more of a 3 Series person and want something fast, fun, and cool, and just to block out some of the noise while you make calls and you sit in your ventilated seats. And even with this one, what I like even better is that you don't have to go for leather to get these adjustable side bolsters. I do miss the multi-contour seats with the adjustment position in your shoulders, but overall, the 540 is a great car. It's still going to be my pick if you are looking for something to drive a lot of miles in for work. It's cooler than an SUV, and overall, it's fun to drive. But thank you guys for watching today's video. I will catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.